Welcome to We the People, a new birth of freedom. Thanks for stopping by. And please feel free to subscribe, tell your friends, and leave your comments below. I'll get back to you. For decades now, there have been voices in the land and around the world that believe that there is coming about a one world government. Well, I'm not going to go into the details of that, and there's both pros and cons where that subject is concerned. Nevertheless, I will say this. Should that ever become a reality, should a one world government become a reality, American sovereignty and independence as a nation and as a people will be history. It'll be gone. And that is why our founding fathers understood the power behind independence as a nation and sovereignty as a people. Without that, somebody's going to be defining life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for you. But they let the laws of nature, nature's God, define life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, justice, equality. They turned to the separate but equal stations of the laws of nature, nature's God, and looked for the defining reality in those laws. It's simple, and politicians stumble over it all the time. Our nation, as Americans, we are founded upon the laws of nature and nature's God. And that is not anarchy. It's not anti-government. No, it's not. Because even inside our biology and psychology, our spirituality, there is a governing entity. And when we violate that governing entity, whether it be on a physical level, a psychological level, a spiritual level, when we violate that governing force, that governing entity, there are serious and grave consequences. So, we are founded upon the laws of nature and nature's God. And where the political element comes in is politics by legislation, by voting in our representatives. They were to protect, preserve, maintain, and defend those laws that we live by. They were put in office, voted into office. So those that violate the laws of nature, those that forfeit their laws and become anarchist, anti-government, they could be prosecuted and dealt with accordingly. But as the supreme law of the land, which is the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, as the supreme law of the land, no political entity, no supreme government has jurisdiction in any way, shape, or form over a law-abiding citizen. They have none. Zero. It doesn't exist. That's why we are innocent until proven guilty. It has to be proven. And as long as a person abides by and respects the laws of nature, there will be no violations. But people don't understand it. See, that's the problem. They don't understand the laws of nature. They don't understand nature's God. They don't understand how it works on a physiological level, a psychological level, a spiritual level. It's not even taught anymore. I mean, look at Washington, D.C. right now. We are so divided right now, it's pathetic. What our forefathers envisioned, a more perfect union? It's a joke. Washington, D.C. right now is a pile of pig shit. And as you've heard me say, and I'll repeat it again, I subscribe to the possibility that 10% of our elected officials, our elected representatives, are true American patriots. They love the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and they will do anything in their power to defend and preserve and protect that. Another 10% are so corrupt, they only want to acquire the benefits of living in this free nation. But they want to accumulate all the power to tell you what to do so they can redefine our liberties. And then the other 80%, well, they wish they could be true Americans. So you take that for what it's worth. So once our independence, our sovereignty is gone, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, justice, and equality will be a thing of the past. But before that happens, there will be a war unlike any other war. They think the first Civil War was bloody. This will be worse. Because there are people that are going to defend their life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They're going to defend true justice. You see, that's why Thomas Jefferson, that's why he used such specific words such as truths. Not theory, not hypothesis, not some hieroglyphics, as you've heard me say, not some poetic expression, not some propaganda that was pulled out of the hind end of some dictator, but truths, self-evident truths. Listen to his language. Self-evident truths, inalienable rights, the laws of nature, nature's God. The language is there. It's self-explanatory. It was written so the common man could understand it. And then when you read the Bill of Rights, you see such words as shall not be infringed. Congress shall not. There's a lot of shall nots, shall nots, shall nots, shall not be infringed. So it would be antithetical for our founding fathers to wage such a battle, to conceive life, liberty, justice, equality, and the pursuit of happiness. To conceive this vision would be antithetical for them to put a clause in there stating, well, if you don't like it, oh well, you can change it, wipe it out, redefine it, whatever you want to do. We didn't really mean it. It was all a joke. That's insanity. They didn't shed their blood. The early patriots did not shed their blood for contemporary politicians who are spineless, mindless, socialist, Marxist, anti-Americans to just come along and start redefining things and call themselves progressive. They're not progressives. Not progressive at all. They're going right back to tyranny and abuse and usurpations so they can tell us what to do. Well, it's not going to happen. People will die. The tree of liberty will be watered once again with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Why do you think those words were spoken? Because our founding fathers knew the corrupt nature of politics. They knew the evil and sinister nature of political parties and human power. They knew that. That's why those words were carefully chosen, written in our founding documents. So we're going to move on in the next video, but I wanted to make this video real quick so you could hear kind of a summation of what we've been talking about for weeks and then lay another platform for what's coming. We're going to go into the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. I trust that you've understood what the Declaration of Independence is all about. And of course, there's no way in a few minutes on a video that I can go into all the details, but I've tried to pull out the highlights, the meat of what the Declaration of Independence represents, what it stands for, and how it remains our foundation as a free people. America is unique. There's no other nation on earth like it. But we have enemies. We have had enemies from the beginning, and we still have enemies. And as time goes on, we'll get into more historical events that have taken place since the conception of this nation to show that evil, that sinister, diabolical evil keeps raising its head It's full of venom. It's full of poison. Wants to destroy your freedom. Don't let it. So until next time, remember, be a true American.